I don't fully understand why, but it seems like the entire planet has been infatuated with Johnny Depp recently. I mean, I've always been a fan of Johnny Depp's movies myself. I look back at Donnie Brasco or Edward Scissorhands or Fear and Loathing in Las Vegas or, of course, Pirates of the Caribbean. All of these are some of the best movies that I experienced growing up in the 90s and the 2000s. So when I started seeing his face all over the news and all over YouTube lately, it kind of caught me by surprise because the past couple of years, I hadn't heard all that much about Johnny Depp. Well, it turns out, as I'm sure all of you guys know, that Depp was wrapped up in a pretty public defamation case that lasted around 6 weeks, which was broadcasted for the world to see. And as I naturally grew interested in the case myself, of course, I found myself gravitating to all the news headlines that talked about how much Johnny Depp has made over the years, spent over the years, and his real estate portfolio. As it turns out, Johnny Depp has always been a pretty big spender, and one of the things that he's liked to spend his fortune on over the years is luxury real estate all over the world. In today's episode, we're not focusing on any of that court drama. We're just gonna take a look at some of Johnny Depp's most impressive real estate investments. First up, we are going to look at a French village that Johnny Depp bought back in 2001, and yes, you heard that right. It's an entire village. This property is located about 17 miles north of Saint-Tropez in an area called Plan de la Tour, France, and it's sitting on over 37 acres of land that were abandoned when he bought it. The property consists of about a dozen buildings in total, including a main house that has a really cozy vibe both inside and out, and is surprisingly pretty mellow considering how wild and eclectic Johnny Depp's style can be. There's also 6 guest houses here. The property in total has 2 swimming pools, and it even has its own private restaurant in the center of the village called Chez Marceline. Can you imagine owning a French village that has its own private restaurant? What? We know that Depp bought this place in 2001. He reportedly spent around $10 million renovating it into what's there today. And from what I can tell, he's been trying to sell it actually for years now. There's a ton of reports of him trying to sell it dating back to 2015. And the prices range from $27 million all the way up to $63 million. But surprisingly, it doesn't sound like he's found a buyer yet. We've talked about some pretty interesting privately held properties here on the channel before, but a French village with its own restaurant has to be one of the wildest. Next up, we've got another collection of properties that Johnny Depp owned not too long ago in downtown LA. This time we're going to a building called the Eastern Columbia Building, which is a 13-story Art Deco style of building built back in 1930 that has this really cool glossy turquoise exterior with gold trim. At this building, Johnny Depp acquired a total of 5 penthouses back in 2007, which collectively added up to about 12,000 square feet of livable space. He bought all of these units for a combined $10.9 million, and following his split with Amber Heard, he's since sold them all for a combined $12.78 million, so he made a few $1,000,000 on that deal. Owning 5 penthouses in one building is a bit odd, especially because he never even combined the units. They were all completely separate, but they were styled differently. Architectural Digest posted this article back when Johnny Depp was selling these units called A First Look Inside Johnny Depp's Los Angeles Penthouses. This was from 2017, and they just showed off some of the eclectic interiors. So here's the living room in one of the units. There's a few features that I definitely really love. First of all, the high ceilings are great. This exposed conduit and exposed ductwork definitely give it a cool industrial feel. The stainless steel cabinetry in the kitchen is pretty unique and nice, and then obviously this access to the patio and views is awesome. Here's another close-up shot of the kitchen so you can see those stainless steel cabinets. Again, I really like that. Good taste in dining room tables. I actually have this exact same dining room table in my house, except I have the round version. Here's a shot of the bedroom. Really nice to have that exposed brick on the walls. The view is cool. I guess the furnishings are somewhat unique, but not all that weird, other than this art above the bed is a little bit creepy. I don't know if I would want that in my bedroom. Then there's this short video. We won't watch the whole thing together, but first they do some drone shots of the exterior. This building definitely stands out amongst all the other just brown and white buildings in downtown LA. I really like all of the intricate detail in that turquoise and gold. Here is one of his other units. Definitely some wild colors on the walls in this one, but very Johnny Depp, I'd say. That mural on the wall is pretty fun. He must have had someone come in and paint that on the spot. That doesn't look like a canvas that's hung up. Pretty sweet. And then the last unit is definitely unlike the others. This is actually quite boring in my opinion. It's just a bunch of heavy brown leather and brown walls and brown carpet and wood floors, but honestly, this is probably kind of a warm and cozy retreat for him compared to the other units that are definitely a lot more modern, a lot more industrial, and a lot more eccentric. I've always been attracted to these loft-style condos that you see in the city of some of these older buildings, probably because you just can't get anything like that around where I live. But with that being said, I'm not sure how comfortable I would feel living in a high-rise building in downtown LA. Sticking to the California theme, next we have to look at another compound of Johnny Depp's, but this one in the Hollywood Hills where he spends most of his time lately. This compound consists of basically an entire cul-de-sac, but the main house is sitting on over 2.5 acres and is surprisingly just a stone throws away from Sunset Boulevard. Along with the main house, Depp ended up buying the surrounding properties around this cul-de-sac, which gave him a lot more privacy, but I wasn't able to find any other reason for him needing to own these other houses, except for one report that said he planned to use one of these houses as a recording studio. Johnny Depp paid $2.15 million for the main house back in March of 1995, which sounds like a steal for what you're getting, but he was just really at the right place at the right time. The previous owner of this house was a famous Hollywood lawyer named Marvin Mitchelson, and after Mitchelson ended up in bankruptcy after going to prison for tax fraud, obviously this house needed to go. The house had fallen into pretty bad shape after Mitchelson lost it to bankruptcy, and so when Johnny Depp bought the place, he spent years renovating the home and bringing in all of the privacy trees that you see today. Unfortunately, there isn't much for interior photos of this house since it has never been publicly listed for sale as far as I can tell, but we know that the main house has 8 bedrooms, 10 bathrooms, it has a pool, a hot tub, and over 100 stained glass windows. Johnny Depp owns 5 of the 6 homes that are within this cul-de-sac. Apparently, he's been trying to buy that 6th home for years, but that owner is refusing to sell it to him. If Johnny Depp was able to buy that 6th house, apparently he wanted to dig some underground tunnels connecting all of the houses. Awesome. All right, now as if owning a French village, 5 LA penthouses, or a compound of a cul-de-sac wasn't enough, Johnny Depp also bought a private island in the Bahamas back in 2004 named Little Halls Pond Cay that he paid $3.6 million for. This oasis has 45 acres of land in total, most of it untouched and undeveloped, and there are 6 private beaches. Johnny Depp built a ranch-style home where he spends most of his time when he's here on the island, but there's also several other structures scattered about. He says that he uses a golf cart to get around when he's there. This island made headlines lately as the defamation court case has been happening because this is where Johnny Depp and Amber Heard actually hosted their wedding ceremony in 2015, and they lived together here full-time for a bit prior to their divorce. This region just east of the Bahamas is littered with islands, and when you zoom in here, you can see them just one after another along this channel here with Johnny Depp's Little Halls Pond Cay kind of right in the middle of all of them. Hard telling how much time Johnny Depp spends out here on this island nowadays. I'm sure it's a bit of a journey just to get there, but I can't think of a better place to unwind after this crazy court case that he's been going through, so something tells me he'll be spending some more time on this island over the summer. Johnny Depp is up there as one of the highest paid actors of all time. Most reports say that he's bringing in an average of $20 million per film that he does, and at his peak, he had a net worth of around $650 million. After years of big spending though, plus some mismanaged money by his ex-manager, and a period in his life where Johnny Depp was spending around $2 million per month, that net worth has since fizzled down to around $150 million. That is a big blow to his net worth, but with $150 million still to his name, Johnny Depp's kids and his kids' kids and their kids' kids are all going to be set for life as long as he manages his money appropriately going forward. If you had fun running through some of these crazy properties that Johnny Depp owns, hit that thumbs up button down below before you go. That really helps the channel out a lot. And remember to subscribe as well if you're not already a subscriber. I'm putting new videos just like this one out every week, but that's all I've got for you guys this time. Thank you so much for watching, and until next time, see ya.